Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the structure and function of nephron. First we will discuss the structure of nephron, then we will go for the function of nephron. As we know, nephron is functional unit of kidney, means the entire physiology of the kidney performed by this unit, and the number of nephron in each kidney of human 1 million, means there are 2 millions of nephron in human body in 2 kidneys. Okay, so we will discuss the structure and function. First we will discuss structure of nephron, then we will discuss the function of nephron. Let's see here. See, look at this picture. This is the outline structure of the nephron. This is afferent arteriole. It will round up here in this structure of kidney tubule. This round up structure will form knot of blood capillaries, and that knot of blood capillaries is made up of this afferent arteriole. So this knot of blood capillaries termed as glomerulus, and the capillaries going out from the glomerulus is efferent arteriole. Okay, and this cup-like structure of kidney tubule is Bowman's capsule. So glomerulus lies in Bowman capsule. So this is glomerulus. This one is glomerulus, means knot of blood capillaries, and this is cup-like structure, and this cup-like structure is Bowman's capsule. Both structure collectively called renal corpuscles or Malpighian body. This glomerulus plus Bowman's capsule both are collectively called as renal corpuscles or Malpighian body. The other section of this kidney tubule, means the other part of this nephron, this is PCT, proximal convoluted tubules, and this convoluted tubule of this nephron is DCT, distal convoluted tubules. This renal corpuscles or Malpighian body, PCT and DCT, all these structures lies in cortex of kidney. This is cortical section, means cortical part of kidney. So all these 3 structures will lie in cortical region of kidney. When efferent arteriole will come out from glomerulus, this will form network of blood capillaries around PCT and DCT. So this is called peritubular capillaries, means blood capillaries around PCT and DCT. These will be called as peritubular capillaries. It will branch up and it will round up around the PCT and DCT. Okay. Now, when this PCT will go down, here up to this region, this will be thick part. So this is the somewhat part of the PCT, but entire structure is known as loop of Henle. Means this is hairpin like a structure, and this hairpin like a structure is called loop of Henle. So this section of loop of Henle, this is descending limb. Descending limb, and this is ascending limb. This is entire, this part is thick part. So these entire thick, and this is thin part of ascending limb, thin, whereas this is also thick part, short segment. Actually this is the part of PCT, and this entire structure of descending limb is thin. This is thin. So both are, this and this ascending and descending limb forms loop of Henle, LOH. This is hairpin structure, hairpin like a structure. And this hairpin like a structure lies in medullary region. Okay, somewhat in medullary region of the kidney. Okay, so in later section, what kind of hairpin like a structure will be found in kidney, and what will be the length of this loop of Henle in kidney, and based on this length of loop of Henle of the nephron, we can classify nephron are of two types. In later section we will do a study. Now this is the straight line, straight tube, and these are called connecting tubule. These are connecting tubule. All the connecting tubule will open here in collecting duct, and the region here, if this is the region of renal papilla, so it will open at the apex of medullary pyramid, and that part is renal papilla. Renal papilla means this will terminate in the renal papilla region, but open in this section, and thus that section is minor calyx. Means collecting duct will open in minor calyx. It will open out in minor calyx. So this region of entire collecting duct called duct of Bellini. This is duct of Bellini. Now we will study step by step the structure of this renal corpuscles or Malpighian body. Then we will study the entire structure in detail about PCT and loop of Henle, DCT, and finally we will study the structure in detail of the collecting duct. Okay, let's see. This is renal corpuscles. This part is glomerulus, the knot of blood vessels This is not of blood vessels. So the blood capillaries, as we know, the lining of the blood capillaries is squamous epithelium, means internally it will be lined with the squamous epithelium, and below that there will be smooth muscles, means involuntary muscle. So this is glomerulus, this is glomerulus, and the wall of this glomerulus, this is wall of glomerulus, wall of glomerulus, and the wall of glomerulus lined with squamous epithelium, squamous epithelium. So this will be lined with squamous epithelium, but there are some feature of this squamous epithelium. It contains many pores. It contains many pores, means this is highly fenestrated. This is highly fenestrated. Pores will be here in this squamous epithelium. Like this, pores are present. These are pores. So squamous epithelium is highly perforated. First one is highly perforated or highly fenestrated. Fenestrated. Fenestration means pores. Fenestration means pore. Thousands of pores will be here in the epithelium of this glomerulus, epithelium of these blood capillaries, that will allow to pass the filtrates into the glomerulus. But the membrane of this squamous epithelium is also made up of negatively charged protein, made up of negatively charged protein. It will be made up of negatively charged protein. Now, one more point, it can secretes basement membrane. And basement membrane is non-cellular lining. This is non-cellular lining. This is secretion of epithelial cells. So there must be a basement membrane here in this region. This is basement membrane. Okay, this is basement membrane. As we know, this entire structure is renal corpuscles or Malpighian body, as we know. So this is basement membrane. This one is basement membrane. This region is basement membrane. And this Bowman's capsule, it is double layered. This layer is visceral layer, means that will be close to glomerulus. That layer is visceral layer. So this is visceral layer. This entire part is visceral layer. Visceral layer. And the cells that forms visceral layer, these cells are podocytes, means this will be lined with podocytes. Podocytes. Podocyte is this type of cell. There are many projections in this cell. This is podocyte, and these finger like projections are termed as pedicel. Pedicel. These are pedicels. This is finger like projections. It can interdigitate with the basement membrane. Okay, and this entire layer, this one, this is parietal layer. Parietal layer, and parietal layer is similar to the wall of glomerulus, means made up of squamous epithelium. So squamous epithelium is made up of negatively charged protein. This is made up of negatively charged protein. This wall of glomerulus is also made up of negatively charged protein of squamous epithelium. What will be the role of this negatively charged protein? We will see in the function of this glomerulus. Okay, so these two layers are the part of Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule, and this Bowman capsule is bilayered, double layer structure. Now we will study the entire section of this. Let's see how these entire sections are made up of. Then we will study the function of this glomerulus. Let's see the structure of this part. Means we will do a study the structure of this part. This is the part, and this we can study in detail. When we will magnify it, what can we found? Okay, so just this is the afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole that will form the glomerulus. So this is glomerular part. This is efferent arteriole and this is afferent arteriole. The blood coming from this side and will go out from this side. Okay. Now what structure will be here in this region? So there will be the basement membrane. In this region there will be the basement membrane, and this basement membrane is the secretion of this one. And there are two different layers of the basement membrane, as we have already studied there in the epithelium, in histology, in tissue, animal tissue structure. So there is the lamina densa, thick layer of collagen protein. This is the thick layer of collagen protein in this region. This is thick layer of collagen protein. As we know, this is the most abundantly found protein in animal kingdom. This is collagen protein. There are different types of collagen protein. Collagen protein type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, like this. So this layer of basement membrane, this is part of the basement membrane. So this is basement membrane and this is glomerulus. And as we know, this glomerulus is made up of squamous epithelium, and this squamous epithelium is highly perforated. Okay, this is highly perforated, means there are many pores in this region. These are perforations, highly perforated. These are highly perforated. This is basement membrane, and the thickest layer of this basement membrane is lamina densa, and it is made up of collagen protein, and this protein is also negatively charged. This is also negatively charged protein. Now below this there is another cell, and that cell, as we have already discussed here, this is podocytes, and this is podocytes. The space between two. First, we should know what is the size of this fenestration. This is fenestration, and size of this fenestration is 60 to 100 nanometer size. This is size of this fenestration through which the part of the plasma will filter and come into the Bowman's capsule. And these are podocyte, and the part between these pores, the space between these pores, this is the space, this is the space, this is the space. This space is known as fenestration slit or slit. This is slit or pore, and the size of this is 25 nanometer. The size of this one 25 nanometer. This is the size. Okay, and the membrane, it will form the inner part of the Bowman's, inner membrane of the Bowman's capsule, that will be close to this glomerulus. Now, what is the role of this fenestration and what is the role of this fenestration slit? As the plasma, blood will pass from here. This blood is coming here. This is blood. Blood is passing through this glomerulus of nephron, and blood contains two parts, plasma and formed elements. There are two parts, formed elements, plasma, and plasma is the main constituent of blood. It is 55% of the blood, so it will contain charged particle and size particles. Means it will contain protein plus electrolytes plus H2O, water, whereas formed elements RBC, WBC and platelets. As we know, the size of RBC is 7 micrometer, and this size is larger than this size. Means this is nanometer and this is micrometer. It means the size of this RBC greater than the size of the fenestration, and the size of the WBC varies from 12 micrometer to 16 micrometer. It can vary 10 to 16 micrometer, and this one 2 to 3 micrometer. Platelet size is 2 to 3 micrometer. All are in micrometer, whereas the fenestration size is 60 to 100 nanometer. It means these formed elements cannot pass. These cannot pass through these fenestrations. Cannot pass. These blood cells or formed elements cannot pass, means these fenestration cannot allow these blood cells to pass or to cross this membrane. Okay. Next, means defenestration depends on the size of the particles present in blood plasma. Second one, these are made up of negatively charged protein ions, and as we know, blood proteins are negatively charged, means this proteins of blood or blood proteins and blood proteins are negatively charged, just like albumin, globin or globin, and third one is fibrinogen, means fibrin forming protein. So the size of this albumin protein, it is very small in size. It can pass through this membrane, this fenestration. Okay, but it cannot pass because this is also negatively charged and this is also negatively charged. It can repel the protein. So large size protein, these are the large size protein. So these cannot pass through these fenestrations. It will come here first, this will come here, then it will pass here, this will pass here, this will pass here, then it will move to this fenestration, and the filtrate will come out. Filtrates will be accumulates in Bowman's capsule. Okay, so it means the 3 layers, these are 3 layers, this is made up of 3 layers. Filtrates will pass through these 3 layers, and these 3 layers are size dependent and charge dependent. These 3 layers are size dependent and charge dependent. So once again we can see, as the blood will pass through this glomerulus, the 3 layers that will guard the filtration, that will help in filtration of blood. What is the role of this glomerulus? Filtration of blood. It is a filtering unit of or filtration unit of the kidney or nephron. So it will filter the blood. Why this will filter? To maintain homeostasis of the body fluid. Homeostasis means it can maintain the entire environment of the body fluid in constant amount. Maintenance of constant internal environment is known as homeostasis. Constant internal environment means amount of water, amount of charged ions or electrolytes or ions, and pH, buffer of the blood. So this is the role of this glomerulus. So glomerulus can filter the blood, but the membrane of this glomerulus is perforated, and these perforations are made up of protein ions, means protein, and that proteins are negatively charged protein. So it cannot pass it can repel the negatively charged particle. First it will repel the negatively charged particle. So all the blood proteins are negatively charged protein. First of all, the large size because these fenestrations are size dependent and charge dependent. Large size protein cannot pass, but the albumin, size of the albumin is smaller, but it is negatively charged in nature. That's why it cannot cross this fenestration. Even this lamina tensor, that is also negatively charged, it can be repelled by. Okay, here also negatively charged. So being a smaller in size of this albumin, it cannot cross the membrane, these three layers of the membrane. Okay, means epithelium, basement membrane, endothelium. Three layers are, these three layers means these are made up of three layers, and three layers: epithelium, basement membrane, and endothelium. Okay, so this is epithelial lining, this is basement membrane, this is endothelium, and it cannot pass, and these are large size blood cells, so this cannot pass out. What will be pass out? What will be filtered through the glomerulus? Let's see here. So through this filtration slit and fenestration, the filtrate will come out. These will be accumulated here, and these are known as filtrates. So what will be the composition of the filtrate? Here we can see cannot pass. H2O, most important, this soluble material that will cross through this, that will first dissolve in this water. So water will pass out, extra amount of water will also pass out to maintain the osmolarity or homeostasis of the body fluids. H2O, second is urea, third one is electrolytes, and these are the electrolytes like sodium ion, and sodium ion is positively charged, so these negatively charged protein channel can allow the sodium ion to pass, and chlorine is negatively charged but it is very small in size, it can easily pass, and bicarbonate, this one, and you can also allow calcium ion to pass and magnesium ion to pass because these are positively charged. Now uric acid and a smaller amount of a small size monosaccharide, glucose is also very small in size, that's why it can pass, and amino acids, then one protein, creatinine, and urochrome, these can pass through these slits and can be accumulated in this Bowman's capsule. So these are the parts of filtrates. As these filtrates will pass through this PCT, this is PCT, proximal convoluted tubules. So this will be absorbed from the PCT, and see, this is brush border cuboidal epithelium, brush border cuboidal epithelium. Okay, brush border means free surface, this is the free surface, and this free surface has microvilli. So microvilli looks like these microvilli look like brush. So this is microvilli on the free surface of the cuboidal epithelium. That's why this epithelium is termed as brush border cuboidal epithelium. And what is the role of this microvilli? Increases surface area of absorption. So once again we can study in flashback. We can see in brief, as we know nephron the functional unit of kidney, and the function of this nephron to maintain homeostasis. What is the meaning of homeostasis? Maintenance of constant internal environment, means it can maintain osmolarity, pH and body fluid. Okay, the process is known as osmoregulation. And the other role of this nephron means homeostasis and excretion. Means removal of waste material, removal of nitrogenous waste material. This is the role of the nephron. So we can say the function of kidney is to maintain the homeostasis and excretion. The purpose of excretion to maintain the homeostasis, to maintain the constant internal environment through the process of osmoregulation and excretion. Okay.